So as you can see here, we have an atom, and in the middle of the atom there's this cluster, and in that cluster there are positive particles and there are neutral particles that have no charge. These positive ones are called protons, and the neutral ones are called neutrons. So protons, pro, positive, they have a plus, and neutrons, neutral, no charge. Okay? And then as you can see, around the outside, there's this, there are these circles, and over there are smaller particles that you can't really see, but those are negatively charged. So they have little minuses, and those are called electrons. And electrons are negatively charged. So as you can see, the size of the protons are a lot bigger than the electrons. Both the protons and neutrons are bigger. The center of this atom, like I said earlier, it's the big cluster. It's called the nucleus. It has all the protons and neutrons in it. As you can see, the protons and the neutrons, the positive and the neutral charged ones. Because they're positive and neutral charged, a positive plus a 0 makes a positive, which makes the nucleus positively charged. The electrons, these guys flying around here, like I said earlier, are negatively charged, so that makes all of this out here negatively charged. So as you can see here, we have a periodic table, and in the periodic table there's these little boxes, and each box is an element. And an element is made out of one atom. So, like we saw before, an atom, each one is one atom. And as you can see, we have different colored rows, and these different colored rows are called groups. Going up and down are groups, and going side to side are called periods. The more important one are the groups. So this first group, the dark pink, as you can see, I wrote there are alkali metals. The second one, the lighter pink, are alkaline earth metals. And then this big group in the middle, right here, are called transition metals. Then you can see we come up to this line right here. This line separates metals from nonmetals. So everything along this line right here are called metalloids, which are half metal, they have properties of both. All of these are metals, and all of these are nonmetals. Moving on to this blue section are called halogens, and this orange section is noble gases. So what all these groups, they all have similarities, and which is why they're grouped together. But what makes, like, how can you tell an element apart? We're going to take this one right here, for example. Carbon. So as you can see, zoomed into that, you have a 6 on top, a C in the middle, the word carbon, and then 12.011. Sometimes it says carbon, sometimes it doesn't, but everything else is usually standard. So what do these mean? The 6 over here is called the atomic number. The atomic number stands for the number of protons in the atom. So as you can see, the protons, these positively charged ones, in the nucleus. Then the C is called the symbol. Carbon is the name. And the 12.011 is the atomic mass. The atomic mass is a little more tricky. Atomic mass is the number of protons and neutrons added together. You don't count the electrons because, like I said earlier, they're so small, they don't really count for much. So the atomic mass is the protons and neutrons. So to find the atomic mass, you add the protons and neutrons, and in this one it's 12, which means there's 6 protons. 12 minus 6 is 6. So that makes 6 neutrons as well. But most of them aren't this even.